All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Somebody asked me to watch a video. It was done on the Jason Goodman channel, and it was an interview of a bishop. His name is Larry Gaiters, and he spells his last name Gaiters. If you look up Jason Goodman YouTube channel, or maybe just do a keyword search for Kobe Bryant Luciferian System, you'll find the video. Jason Goodman's channel interviewing Larry Gaiters. And I know they've done a part 1 and part 2. I did take the time to listen to part 1. And I don't have a lot of time, so it's hard for me to watch videos. And if I'm watching a video, it's usually running in the background while I'm doing my own research. So I caught right away at the beginning of the interview, Larry Gaiters stated that he didn't want to go into the numbers or talk about Gematria. Those are subjects he doesn't delve into. And I thought that that was curious that he made that statement very early in his presentation. And I've heard so many people say this in the truth community, things just like that. I don't want to look at the numbers or the Gematria. And I always think, like, why not? I mean, why wouldn't you? This is the system these people operate by undeniably. And by looking into the system they operate by, you can really see through what is being done. Now, to Larry Gaiters' credit, he is right on. Kobe Bryant's death has everything to do with the Boule. And what I'm going to show is how, going back through time, from Kobe Bryant's birthday to his father's birthday, Joe Jellybean Bryant, how all is revealed and how this truly is all synced with the Boule, which was established in Philadelphia, which is Kobe's hometown. As we'll get to, just in case you've been following the 11 videos I've done so far on Kobe Bryant's death, this is number 12. We've been talking a lot about 157 since day one. Kobe Bryant in Gematria equals 157. He died on his 157th day of his age. Staples Center's 157. That day he was remembered at the Grammys in the Staples Center. His dad's nickname, Jellybean's 157. The word accident's 157. Kobe, Mr. 33, the day of his death was the 33rd Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble that day. Drew McIntyre's 157. You know, he did the predictive programming with the exploding helicopter and the Black Mamba film with Kanye West. At the top of that poster, it says, "You lose this road game, you don't go home," which equals 157. What we're going to get to is how his father, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was born 157 days after the Boule's date of establishment. Plus, we're going to cover so many other things. But again, this 157 is just a really clear example right now. You know, LeBron just won the All-Star game with a target score of 157. You know, weeks after we'd already pointed out the rituals with 157. Right now in the headlines, you have another Cleveland sports star, kind of like LeBron, supposedly busted with 157 pounds of weed. That man wore the number 78. Kobe was born in 78. Cleveland 78. Again, if you're not familiar with the Boule, it is a Masonic fraternity. If you're in a fraternity or a sorority in college, you're involved with Masonry. All fraternities and sororities are Masonic in nature. But it is a Masonic fraternity based out of Philadelphia, and many black entertainers are connected to Boule. A lot are also connected to Prince Saul, but we're going to focus on Boule here. So, notice, Boule, which is also known as Sigma Pi Phi, Greek letters, was established May 15th, 1904. Now, May 15th is the 135th day of the year. And if you've read my book, you know all about Philadelphia and 135 rituals. Kobe Bean Bryant's 135. We're going to get to how he died 135 days from Kanye West's upcoming birthday. And, of course, where his helicopter crashed was very close to Kanye West's house. At the All-Star game, where it was the first ever award in Kobe Bryant's name, it was given to Kawhi Leonard. And from the All-Star game to Kawhi Leonard's upcoming birthday, June 29th, is a span of 135 days. Kobe Bean Bryant, 135. Huge number in Philadelphia, and it comes from the Bible, as we'll get to. So Sigma Pi Phi established May 15th, which is typically the 135th day of the year, but 1904 was a leap year, so it technically was the 136th day of the year. Both numbers are important. As the Bishop Larry Gaiters stated, he says the Boule, their job is to protect the Baphomet system. And the reason that's interesting is Baphomet has gematria of 136. Baphomet related to Satan, Lucifer, Philadelphia, a biblical name. Revelation 3:7 about the Church of Philadelphia and the synagogue of Satan and the key of David. We're going to get into all this, so I'm just giving you a little bit of warm-up, but let's really get through it here. So check this out. Sigma Pi Phi will turn 117 years in age. They were established again on May 15th. Notice they have 126 chapters. 126, right? 126. What day did Kobe die? January 26th. 126. Now check this out. Their headquarters is now in Atlanta, Georgia, which is a predominantly black city, but again, they were founded in Philly. Keep in mind the college basketball tournaments in Atlanta this year. If you're following me on Patreon, we've been talking about some very interesting players who have some major Kobe connections, including some that have the same birthday as Kobe. Anyway, championships in Atlanta this year for college basketball. But from this establishment date, May 15th, from the anniversary of the establishment date, May 15th, did I forget to post it here? My goodness. All right, here, let me... Sometimes when I'm putting together my screenshots, some of the photos don't upload that are supposed to. So let me just do it one more time. May 15th, the Boule establishment date to the day Kobe died. So May 15th, 2019, the last anniversary to the day Kobe died, was the 257th day since the anniversary. 257. And we just talked about this number in a big way with the death of Joanne Buss of the Lakers. Remember, Kobe died at age 41 days after Joanne Buss. But from the anniversary of the Boule establishment to Kobe's death, 257 days. Again, I'll add this to the blog post as soon as I'm finished. It's supposed to be there. But 257, the 55th prime number. And just notice Los Angeles Lakers is 257, but Sigma Pi Phi and Boule both have the gematria 55 in the base ciphers. And I'm just going to pause real quick in case you're new here. Again, I know I'm super redundant with this, but people are always new here, and they're like, wait a minute, are you using different ciphers? I'm using the system, which are 4 ciphers based on the alphabetic order, and you have to know all 4 ciphers to see the totality of the riddles. So again, Kobe Bryant in the base 4 ciphers, 113 with the alphabetic order, 41 with the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, like his age of death. This is considered the most pure cipher. This is known as Pythagorean gematria, Greeks. With the reverse alphabetic order, Kobe Bryant's 157. With the reverse alphabetic order and rules of numerology, Kobe Bryant's 58. All of these numbers so important to his career and the ritual of his death. 113, just one more time. The month before he died, you can look this up. He was in a national news story for being part of a car accident in Los Angeles. He got out of his car and he directed traffic to help, resolve the situation. So Kobe the hero. That story came on his 113th day of his age. Now, that's a big number with his entire NBA career. His poem, Dear Basketball for Retirement, in the same ciphers, 113. Utah Jazz are the only team in the league that summed to 113, who he played his last game against, where he was guarded by number 41 all game, where he came off the court with 4.1 seconds, where he scored 60 points and his team scored 41 for a total of 101. Big number with his death as well in the Boule, as we'll get to. When Kobe scored 81, his team scored 41. Anyhow, 113, big number. On the Julian calendar, January 26th is January 13th. So it's 113 on the Julian calendar the day he died. He was drafted round 1, 13th pick overall. He made his NBA debut on November 3rd, 11/3. His career emulated Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's 113 with the alphabetic order. The National Basketball Association's 113 with this cipher. So, Kobe directing traffic on his 113th day of his age. The next month, dead at age 41 in a massive 41 ritual. Again, dead 41 days after Joanne busted the Lakers. Dead a span at 41 days from his teammate Shaquille O'Neal's upcoming birthday. 41s all throughout his career. We'll talk about more of them in a moment. He died on the 41st day of the Pope's age. And where did they say Kobe was flying from? Catholic Church. Again, the Pope and sports rituals are synced again and again and again. I've documented this for years, way before Kobe died. This is how they do it. This is the cabal. 157, we're going to hit that list. Again, dead on his 157th day of his age. As we'll get to, his father was born 157 days after the establishment of the Boule. And then 58, as Larry Gaiters talks a lot about, he talks about Freemasonry. Freemasonry's 58, Secret Society's 58, Rosicrucian's 58. Remember, the real King James was a Freemason and Rosicrucian. He died at age 58. He died unexpectedly at age 58. They call LeBron King James. LeBron passed Kobe in his hometown of Philly the day before his death. And again, LeBron and King James, those riddles have been going on since he joined the league. His first ever game against the Kings. Won his only championship with the Cavs on the real King James's birthday. And that was his 13th season. King James became a king at 13 months of age. Kobe loses his daughter at 13. Kobe moved to the States when he was 13. 41's the 13th prime. His short movie that he won an Oscar for, Dear Basketball, starts with the shot clock on 13 seconds. Big number here, 58. And remember, tetragrammaton equals 58, the four-letter name of God. Kobe fell to 4th in scoring and died the next day. All these numbers are written about in regards to Kobe's career in my book, which was written years before he died. All these numbers were important to his career. And Bryant alone is 26, like how he died on the 26th. Notice Bryant with the reverse alphabetic order is 37. Bryant died on the 37-year anniversary of the death of Bear Bryant, the football great coach who also died January 26th, when Nick Saban tied Bear Bryant with his 6th win. Number 6 caught the touchdown, scoring the 26th points of the game. If you write out 6th, it equals 26, like mankind's made on the 6th day in the 26th verse. All this stuff is biblical. And anyway, I can get into all these numbers, and we will. All these numbers are relevant. Again, 157 is the 37th prime. And just to show you his full name, Kobe Bean Bryant. 135, like the big number in Philly, as we'll get to. The Boule established on what's typically the 135th day of the year. Kobe Bean Bryant dead 5 months and 4 days after his birthday. His daughter's name also 54. And again, we've been talking a lot about 54. The day before Kobe died, before LeBron even passed Kobe, I put out a video that morning and I said, watch 54 today. LeBron's passing Kobe because it's all about 54. January 25th, 25/1. Like 251, the 54th prime. LeBron ends up passing Kobe, scoring the 54th points of the game. When Kobe won the NBA Finals in the 54th season, just days before that season began, Wilt Chamberlain died from Philly, died in Bel Air like the Fresh Prince, Will Smith. That was before the 54th season. From Wilt Chamberlain's death to the day Kobe Bryant won the finals in the 54th NBA season was 251 days later, the 54th prime. Bishop Larry Gaiters points out that Kobe was indoctrinated into the Boule because he was set up by the Boule with the whole rape story July 1st, 2003. The day that Kobe's accused of raping the woman in Colorado, that was a span of 54 days from his birthday. It happened July 1st, 2003. His birthday is August 23rd, a span of 54 days. And the name of the spa where he supposedly raped the woman, the name of the spa in Gematria sums to 251. We've covered all this stuff. You look at the Chamberlain Heights cartoon that was predictive programming for Kobe's death. The cartoon character right in the center is wearing number 54 with a setting sun behind the characters. The word sun, S-U-N, is 54. Again, Wilt Chamberlain dead before the 54th NBA season. These rituals used redundantly. I showed you guys before the Super Bowl was played how Kobe Bryant was a part of it and how it was a positive sign for Patrick Mahomes. Well, I showed you that if you were on Patreon. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes took the lead in that game on his 26th completion, which was his 41st pass connecting with number 26. Super Bowl 54. Super Bowl's 41. Patrick Mahomes' full name equals 126, like the day Kobe died. In the college football championship, Trevor Lawrence came in 25-0. He fell to 25-1 in New Orleans, which equals 54 on a date with 54 numerology. Joe Burrow, who won that championship, 54 days later, Super Bowl 54 was played in the Joe Montana Bowl. Joe Montana 54. So realize, Kobe Bryant dies right before Super Bowl 54. This number's buzzing everywhere. This is how it works every single year. It's clockwork. Normally, there's not somebody who dies who's as big as Kobe Bryant, but it's always somebody connected to the sports, has the numbers. It's just not normally, one of the most massive names that again, in the world, which is somebody like Kobe Bryant. Now, again, Kobe Bean Bryant, also 243. Another huge number with the Super Bowl, but the United States of America is 243 years old. And Kobe Bean Bryant, 81. Jerry West, who's the logo of the NBA, who's 81 years old right now, from his 81st birthday to Kobe Bryant's death, was 243 days. And there is a conversation to change the logo from Jerry West to Kobe Bryant. And that very well might happen. And understand, if it does, it's because it was all perfectly coordinated ritual. So I just want to remind people, we are going to focus on the Boule here. We've hardly even gotten into this. But again, got to lay down the knowledge, because there's probably some troll already spamming away about how I use 30-some ciphers to prove my points. It's false. For the first 3 years, I just used 2 ciphers. Then when I learned reverse gematria, I saw it was the other half of the code, and it was undeniable. I would have been able to give a good presentation the first 3 years of my research, but I wouldn't have been able to see the whole thing with 157. I wouldn't have been able to see the thing with 58. So when you see the idiot spamming away that I use 30-some ciphers, just realize that person's a loser and a liar. I stick to what I call the 4 base ciphers. And again, the reason I understood these were the base ciphers was from many years of research, just looking at the first 2. Okay. Now coming back to this. Again, Kobe, dead on the 257th day since the anniversary of the Boule, which is known as Sigma Pi Phi. 257 is the 55th prime. Sigma Pi Phi is 55. Boule's 55. If you want to get cute, there's numerology rules within the base ciphers. These are just additional things. If you recognize numerology within the base ciphers, Los Angeles and Sacrifice also have Gematria 55. But again, that knowledge isn't even important. For people calling in right now, I'm not taking any calls. I'm doing the presentation. You can call in later. Okay, so Kobe's daughter died at 13. He died at 41. Add it up. 13 plus 41, 54. Her name was Gianna Bryant, 126, like the date of the crash. Dead on the 26th, the anniversary of the death of Bear Bryant. Bryant, 26. Boule, 26. And remember, they had to mock you and say that he was flying in a Sikorsky S-76 the day after the 76ers ritual, Philadelphia. The bishop, Larry Gaiters, was trying to explain, he wasn't real clear in his explanation, but he was trying to explain how the man who invented the helicopter, Igor Ivanovich Sikorsky, how he's even part of this ritual. And again, the bishop didn't talk about numbers. He did briefly mention gematria, but said he didn't want to delve into it. Look at what day the man who invented this helicopter, or the helicopter which is named after him, look at what day he died. October 26th. You know who else died on that day? Al Bryant of the Temptations died on October 26th. Bryant's dead on the 26th. Your number's up. But look at this. This man who the helicopter is named after, his full name equals 126. Kobe Bryant dead on 126. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? And for the bishop, I hope this gets to your plate, this video, and I hope you watch it like I took the time to listen to you, and I hope you answer in the future why you don't want to talk about gematria. And I hope what doesn't come out of your mouth is, well, this stuff's evil and satanic. Because again, yes, it is. but we're exposing the evil and satanic, and we're laying down facts and evidence of the code that they operate by to continue to conduct these kind of rituals, which go on literally every single day. It's just most people don't care about the stories that go on this way every single day unless it's a name like Kobe Bryant. You know, every single day for 6 years I've proven this straight with what's put out there, and only a few times have people really cared because it was such a huge name, like Prince, whose death we predicted by understanding this code, or George Herbert Walker Bush, or John McCain, or Kobe Bryant, and there's been a few others, but again, it's sad that people only really care when it's a big celebrity. And again, the reason that is because these celebrities are worshipped like idols in the minds of the masses. But anyhow, again, Bishop, if you're out there, if you apply this knowledge, you can take your research to a whole new level. And then also you won't make foolish comments like Jordan wasn't supposed to win the championship and Barkley was, and that's why his dad... No, I'll get into that at the end. I'll show you just how wrong about all that you are. Anyhow, from Kobe's death to the upcoming anniversary of the Boule, May 15th, is 111 days. What did he die in? A helicopter 111? So from the last anniversary, perfectly synced, into the upcoming anniversary, there's clearly a ritual that's synced. Now, going back in time, Kobe Bryant was born on the 101st day of the Boule's 74th year of being. And he died in the 74th NBA season. And for years I've educated about the rituals of 74 and killing. Just using the alphabetic order. Jesus is 74, Messiah is 74, Cross is 74, Parables is 74, Gospels 74. So is Lucifer. And as the bishop explains, this was a Luciferian ritual. So Kobe Bryant was born in the 74th year of the Boule's existence. Again, they were established May 15th, 1904. Kobe dies during the 74th NBA season. And look at this. The day that Kobe was born, it was the 101st day of the 74th year. Philadelphia's 101, 101's the 26th prime. Remember the year I told you the Super Bowl was going to be the Eagles and the Patriots after week 3, and I said the Eagles would start that year 10-1? Again, rituals and numbers. That did come true. Everyone thought I was wrong when Carson Wentz got hurt, and I said, no, Nick Foles is even more perfect for the ritual. You just watch. Anyhow, Kobe Bryant was a big part of that season. Fly, Eagles, fly is 135 and 54, just like Kobe being Bryant. We were talking about it all back then. So anyhow, Kobe born on the 101st day of the 74th year, and then dies in the 74th NBA season. And where did they say his helicopter crashed? Along Highway 101. How many points did his Lakers score in his last career game? 101. Talked about it all back then. Philadelphia with the alphabetic order 101. Again, the 26th prime, dead on the 26th. Bryant 26, Boule 26. And then they bury him in Corona del Mar. And they changed the virus name to COVID-19 from coronavirus. And COVID's 26, and virus is 26, and China's 26. The bishop thinks that the pharmaceutical details of the lawsuit between Kobe Bryant and the pharmaceutical company, see, he's fooled by that narrative because he doesn't get it. The reason they did that is because all of this is intertwined ritual. They had to bring Kobe Bryant into the world of medicine and pharmacy so that they could then intertwine his planned ritualistic death with their planned coronavirus outbreak by the numbers. This is how the cabal works, which is bigger than the Boule. Again, Boule is just part of the overall web of masonry. So again, here's the shot of Kobe coming off the court. And I think the bishop must have been watching some of my work because he was emphasizing the 4.1 seconds. You know, I don't think the bishop would have been aware of that. I have a feeling the bishop watched my work before he did his presentation, but I don't know why at the beginning he said he didn't want to talk about Gematria. Again, he could be even part of it himself. So, anyway, Kobe, Comes off with 4.1 seconds. The rest of his team scored 41, just like when he dropped 81. The rest of his team scored 41. And let's not forget that when Kobe Bean Bryant, which also equals 81, scored 81 points and the rest of his team scored 41 for a sum of 122 points, the game was on January 22nd, 1-2-2. And Satanic equals 122, like San Francisco. And remember, the Church of Satan was established in San Francisco, which is also on the 122nd meridian. The top tenet of Satanism is self-worship. So many people think Satanism is about worshiping Satan. A lot of Satanists are completely atheists. They don't even believe in the entity Satan. But self-worship is the top tenet, and that's what Kobe Bryant taught the world. To be selfish, to be a ball hog, to make it all about you. And that's what the NBA, which is controlled by the synagogue of Satan, is all about. Remember the letters written to the Church of Philadelphia about the synagogue of Satan. David Stern of that synagogue said, the NBA isn't about basketball anymore. It's about making stars. That was his announcement in 1984. The proud Zionist. And don't forget, Zion Williamson equals 74. He's the big story in the 74th NBA season. The Zion Williamson sweepstakes were May 14th, 2019, the 71-year anniversary of the establishment of Zionist Israel. And why 71 years? Talmud equals 71. That's why. It's another big number over there. If you don't know about the Talmud, research. It's the one that says Jews are God's chosen people and non-Jews are not even considered human. Too dumb to be considered. And you look at the way they run the NBA, treating these fans like idiots, you can see that their beliefs are in practice. So anyhow, Kobe, this was the final score. If you don't remember this game, it was one of the biggest jokes ever. Utah literally didn't score a single point for over 5 minutes in the end of the game. Kobe just hoisting up brick after brick, finally hits one to take the lead. Lakers equals 96, Freemason 96, Philadelphia 101, all ritual. And again, they program the shot clocks so that they can stop them right on the perfect spot. They've done this so many times. Again, I explained how they stopped the shot clocks on the perfect spot a million times before this even happened with Kobe, and I've shown it a million times since. They have the clocks programmed. The men in the stripes, those black and white stripes like Masonic Lodge colors, black and white, they know where to make sure the games need to stop. There are key points, usually near the end of the game, where they have to make sure that a whistle's blowing. And think about it, you blow the whistle at 4.8, is anyone going to notice if the clock stops at 4.1? Of course not. You blow the whistle at 5 seconds, are they going to notice that it ran down to 4.1? Of course not. It's programmed. Just like in the predictive programming with Kobe and Kanye West, when he throws the basketball bomb, the basketball timer, the last time you see it counting down is right at 4.1. Also not an accident. Kobe dead at 41. Okay, so again, 101. Kobe born on the 101st day of the Boule's existence in their 74th year. And again, he crashed off of Highway 101. Now, you can watch the video I put out before. Again, people don't call in right now. I'm not answering calls right now. But you can watch the video I put out the day of, prior to this game being played, the morning of. I put out the video why LeBron was going to pass Kobe in Philadelphia on January 25th. And I talked at length about 54. So sure enough, when LeBron passed Kobe, it was with the 54th points. Kobe Bean Bryant, 54. Whoops. And down on this end of the court where LeBron scored the bucket, there's a black snake on the court, like a black mamba. If you were watching this game, it was a close game. The score was 48-51. The Lakers were trailing by 3, and then you can just see. You can just see, if you have eyes to see, you can see how fixed pro sports are. The Lakers stopped playing basketball. They just started throwing the ball away. LeBron purposefully running into men who are sit on the court to get charges, hoisting up bricks, not playing defense. The game quickly went from 48-51 to being in a huge hole. Philly was on 74 points. Again, this is the 74th NBA season. Masonic 74, Jewish 74, Occult 74, Lucifer 74. Philly gets to 74 points. Then LeBron goes in for the freebie lay-in to score the 54th points to pass Kobe, and then they put up the stat right away. LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant for third most points in NBA history. By the way, remember how we talked about King James in 58 and how Kobe Bryant's 58? Don't forget that Zion Williamson made his debut on television that everybody saw that day, and Zion Williamson, by the end of that game, he had accumulated 58 points in his NBA career. Go back and watch the video I put out on David Stern's death, and how I said, just watch. David Stern's died on a 22-date numerology. You'll see this synced up with the return of Zion, who made his debut on January 22nd. He scored 22 points. He scored 17 straight in the fourth quarter. Zion, 17. Again, it is all perfectly coordinated ritual. It is scripted theater. It is a joke. You have to be blind to not see it. You have to be deaf, dumb, and blind to not hear what I'm saying and what I've been exposing perfectly for how many years? I understand why when I was putting out videos in 2014, all the comments were people making fun of me until they saw that I was right that year, because the first videos I ever did about the NBA were how the Warriors and Cavs would meet in the NBA Finals, how they'd never met before, how it would be synced up with Nate Thurmond. Everything I said came true, and then all of a sudden, a lot of haters were like, whoa, I never seen anything like this. Anyway, 54. And again, Kobe's death was foreshadowed in the cartoon Chamberlain Heights. Again, Wilt Chamberlain dead before the 54th NBA season, which the Lakers and Kobe won. Very scripted season for the Lakers. But number 54 front and center. And I should have chose a better... They have plenty of cartoons with the sun setting in the background. I should have done that. I should have chose one of those instead, because SUN is 54. Sun, Corona, Coronavirus, Corona Del Mar, where Kobe's buried. It's all ritual. But now getting to Kobe's father, Joe Jellybean Bryant. Notice he was born in 54, right? Notice he is 65 years old at the time of Kobe's death. And I've explained for years, 65 is the most important number to Philadelphia, because Philadelphia is 65 in the most pure cipher, and the date Philly was established, October 27th, 1682, is the day leaving 65 days left in the year. Recall, when Tom Brady lost to Philadelphia in the Super Bowl 52, Tom Brady came in with 223 career wins, and he exited with 65 career losses. And I can tell you about all these numbers with Philadelphia. Again, we made the prediction after Donald Trump on September 23rd, 23/9, like 2:39, the 52nd prime took on the protesters that year of the national anthem and flag. The flag was sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philly. 239, the 52nd prime, Philly wins Super Bowl 52. I said Philly would start 10-1 that year because 101's the 26th prime, flag equals 26. Trump has the same birthday as the flag, June 14th. The next day after Trump did that was Sunday. It was week 3. The Eagles kicker set an Eagles record with a 61-yard field goal. And again, they're using technology to ensure outcomes. And remember, in the Bible, it's the Church of Philadelphia. Church is 61, so is Jesus 61, so is cross. Christian is 61, also 101, like Philadelphia, Church of Philadelphia. Christianity is 65, like Philadelphia. May 15th, the Boule, 15/5. Again, all these things are related. So, Joe Jellybean Bryant, 65 years old, born in Philly. Who was he drafted by in the NBA? Golden State. Warriors. Where are the Warriors originally from? Philadelphia, just like the Athletics. Again, the Bay Area kept the Philly Liberty Bell for a number of years. There's a relationship with Philly in the Bay Area. Joe Jellybean was drafted in 75. Kobe retired in 2016, 41 years later. But check it out. Check it out. From the Boule establishment date, May 15th, to Joe Jellybean Bryant's birthday in 54 was 157 days. Kobe died on his 157th day of his age. Kobe Bryant, 157. Lakers playing the Staples Center, 157. The Grammys were there the day Kobe died. Again, for years I've said just pay attention to celebrity deaths the day of award shows, Grammys, Oscars. etc., country music awards, all this stuff. It's the same. It's clockwork every year. Normally, it's not a celebrity as big as Kobe, you know, but every year there will be a celebrity dead the day of these award shows. Every year. Sacrifice. Kobe Bryant, 157. Staples Center, 157. Accident, 157. Jelly Bean, 157. Drew McIntyre, 157. Who's he? Again, he won the 33rd Royal Rumble the day Kobe died. And just days before Kobe died, I told people to circle January 23rd, 2020. I said you'll see celebrity deaths that day. There were a bunch. One of them was, and the reason I said that date is because every single month there's the date with 44 and 64 numerology. Kill is 44 and 64. The only Scottish NBA player, Robert Archibald, who played in 44 NBA games, was found dead that day. And then Drew McIntyre, who's the only Scottish WWE wrestler to win the Royal Rumble, he wins the same day Kobe died. Scottish equals 113 like Kobe Bryant. And again, that's what's sad. Like, nobody even cared. I mean, like, hardly anybody watched my video about the death of Robert Archibald. Like, nobody even cares that a person even younger than Kobe is just found dead for no reason. See what I mean? You guys only care about certain deaths. You don't care that a bunch of people are getting murdered. You only care if it's someone that's just so famous. But the same thing that has happened to Kobe, and is Kobe even really dead? I mean, that is the other question. Is Drew McIntyre? I mean, it's a question, but this stuff's going on all the time. And sadly, people only care if the person's famous enough. Which, if you think about it, is based on these satanic principles. You know, that it's about all the wrong things. It's about fame. It's about materialism. It's about power. It's not about right and wrong and decency and honesty and, you know, all lives being, you know. Again, people don't get it, but we are living in a satanic world, and almost all of us have been programmed to be satanic on some level. And I'll even own up to that. I mean, my ego is a lot bigger than what it should be. I'll let you know the reason I have such an ego is because it's the thing that keeps me afloat in a world where I'm hated on every single day for caring about truth and exposing what's wrong. When the whole world beats you up for doing that, you have to become your biggest fan, and sometimes that can balloon your ego, as it's happened for me. Made me a little bit more arrogant. And again, people calling in, I'm not taking calls right now. Stop calling. I will take calls at the end. So anyway, all these 157s, again, Kobe dead on his 157th day of his age, or 5 months and 4 days into his age. 22 weeks and 3 days, 223. Remember Philadelphia? 223. The letter written to the synagogue. Let me spell it right. Synagogue of Satan, 223. See how perfect it all is? And, by the way, in light of Kobe being born in 78, you know, right now number 78 for the Cleveland Browns is in trouble for 157 pounds of marijuana that he was caught with at the border. Supposedly in an Uber. And, I mean, none of this story even makes sense. Uber's got that 26 too. But, again, Kobe born in 78, number 78 on Cleveland. Cleveland's got the 78 and 33. Kobe's got the 33. Scottish Rite 78 as well. It's just, there's a reason. This is a shaming ritual. This man's name equals 181 like Black History, which is the 42nd prime. They love to shame the athletes that have the 42 connections. This is what these people sign up for when they become rich and famous and become part of this rigged sports system, which is controlled truly by the synagogue of Satan. That is what they refer to themselves as, the false Jews. Anyhow, and that's exactly what's stated in Revelation. The synagogue of Satan, the people who claim to be Jews, but who are not, but are liars. That's what's written. By the way, lie is 26. Kobe dead on the 26th. Playing God with lies. God's 26. It's what they do. Anyhow, this is why this man was chosen. Remember how they said Kobe's helicopter crashed on the 4200 block? Just look it up. Every article reported that. How did he crash on the 4200 block if he crashed in the middle of a field? They just got to put the same numbers down. They just got to do it. 18th chapter of my book's about the shaming and murder of black people, and the number 42. Remember, this year on the 42nd day of the year, you had Nelson Mandela's favorite singer die, and he was part of the group Ladysmith Black Mambazo, dead on February 11th, the 42nd day of the year. 211, Black Mamba's 211. Kobe Bryant died 211 days before Black Mamba / Kobe Bryant Day in LA this year, August 24th, 824. Again, the All-Star game won by Team LeBron. They score 157 points versus Team Giannis of the Bucks. Lakers and Bucks. Does that remind you of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the all-time points leader, and like Kobe getting passed by LeBron in points? Abdul-Jabbar equals 74, 74th NBA season. Guess how many days it is from LeBron's birthday to the start of the finals? Take a guess. LeBron's birthday is December 30th. The finals start June 4th. I'll give you a clue. It's either 157 days or 155, and which one do you think it is based on what we're talking about here? If you doubt it, look it up. And again, here's that movie poster. You lose this road game, you don't go home. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, Kanye West over his right shoulder like the devil, exploding helicopter. Bruce Willis explains that the guy he works for, the collector, he takes souls, but he also takes shoes. Because, of course, shoes have souls on them. Nike. Nike's symbol's a ring of Saturn. A swoosh. A ring of Saturn. Saturn to the occult represents Satan. Nike's headquartered in which state? Oregon, the 33rd state, the only state that has a gematria of 74. Things I've explained since 2013. But that phrase, you lose this road game, you don't go home, 157. Kobe dead on his 157th day after the Lakers lose on the road in Philadelphia, his home, Wilt Chamberlain's home, Will Smith's home. You know, Will Smith went from Philly to LA in The Fresh Prince, which ended in 96, the year Kobe was drafted. Wilt Chamberlain died in Bel Air for the 54th NBA season from Philly. Okay, so now to make the point about Kanye West, from Kobe's death to Kanye West's upcoming birthday is 135 days. Kobe Bean Bryant's 135. For you Eagles fans, Fly Eagles Fly's 135. You know, Carson Wentz set the rookie record. No interceptions until his 135th pass, which was thrown directly to the defender. It's all script. It's all a joke. But again, the Boule, their establishment date. In non-leap years, it's the 135th day of the year. Imagine being the person trying to expose that Kobe's death was for the Boule and not using numerology or gematria. I mean, you can listen to a person and say, like, wow, that's interesting. Okay, it sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And to this bishop's credit, Larry Gaiters, it did sound like he knew what he was talking about. But right away to denounce numerology and gematria when it's the knowledge to prove what's being done? Why? Why? Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. Makes me think, because again, there's a lot of people that are a part of this stuff and they're allowed to reveal some things, but they can't reveal the most crucial things. And of course, when he did this interview, he did it with a man who's Jewish, which is also suspect. Not that all Jewish people are in on it, but again, I mean, it's just like when I went down to New Orleans to educate the predominantly black community about all the black people that were just murdered in their town for their rigged football championship. A guy shows up who I've never heard of before, and instead of telling me his name, he introduces himself as being Jewish, and then he begs me to come back to his house and do illegal activities in New Orleans. I was like, this feels like a setup. I'm going to pass, man. I'm going to pass. But then he wouldn't let it go. I mean, he just like all night trying to pull me. It was just like, no. Okay, I'll get you dinner. I'll buy you some drinks because you came out to support the work. But now to try to do this at the end of the night, especially after you introduced yourself as Jewish and not even telling me your name at first. I mean, again, you guys, these secrets come from Jewish mysticism, which is Kabbalah. Kabbalah states God created the world with letters, numbers, and words. That's why mankind's made in the 26th verse. God is 26. The four-letter name of God's 26. Adam is 26. Talk about all this in my first chapter, including Kobe, Bryant, and Jordan, because Bryant and Jordan are both names with 26 Gematria. People who are worshipped as gods. So with regards to all this 135 stuff, and to get back on point, October 27th, 1682, Philadelphia's establishment date with 135 numerology. It's a number that shows up a lot in Philly sports, college and pro. Just pay attention. You'll see. Everywhere. Revelation 3:7. To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. The key of David. It's this instrument of prophecy. And you see, the synagogue of Satan, which uses the Bible as their playbook, scripture, they couldn't have scripted it any better. Script, living out the script. The synagogue of Satan, who uses the Bible as their playbook, they are fulfilling their planned agendas, their prophecies. If you've missed all my work on coronavirus, you better check that out. Especially since it's now become known that in 1981, remember Kobe being Bryant 81, who's now buried in Corona del Mar. In 1981, Dean Koontz wrote the book, The Eyes of Darkness, which talks about a military conspiracy to spread the Wuhan coronavirus, which begins at a military base in Wuhan, China. And remember, speaking of 74, look it up, October 18th, the day leaving 74 days left in the year, the military world games were in Wuhan. That same day, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hosted Event 201, simulating a coronavirus outbreak that would kill over 60 million people. In fact, the number that they used was 65 million, which is a biblical number. So that's October 18th, the Wuhan military games, Event 201 simulating the coronavirus outbreak. Both of those events on the day leaving 74 years old. And how old is Dean Koontz right now, who made this prediction in 1981? Yes, he's 74 years old. And from the day that October 18th, the day of these events, to December 31st, which is when they said coronavirus really spread throughout China on New Year's Eve, that was 74 days later. And there's a whole lot more to it. Coronavirus outbreaks 121, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's 121. The first patient was found in the U.S. on what day? January 21st. And where were they found? Just north of Seattle, where the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's headquartered. And there's a whole lot more to it as well. To bring Kobe Bryant into this, just going off the top, Wuhan equals 68, Seattle, Washington 68, basketball 68. Again, this is how these people work. This is how they operate. Okay, so we're hitting the 135 points because the bishop wouldn't. And again, they mention here in this article how Kobe crashed so close. God, I see something sick in this article. They mention how Kobe crashed so close to Kim and Kanye's house. I don't know why I can't say that. Kim and Kanye's house. You see this thing right here? This mention? Other stars who have homes in the area include Ozzy Osbourne. If you've never heard Ozzy Osbourne's song, Mr. Crowley, listen to it. And go back and find, well, my video's been deleted thanks to Google censorship, but I could re-upload that one. It's a good one. His song, Mr. Crowley, is just, oh my God. The recording, just everything is just the same numbers we're talking about here today. It's just, they use the same numbers. And Aleister Crowley, big occultist from the UK, was a big practitioner of Kabbalah and Gematria, the things we're talking about. Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, Drake, who was connected to last year's Rig Basketball Championship. It was all scripted around him. He released his album, which was on Kawhi's birthday. And anyway, but notice how they mention his lavish $5.9 million mansion near Calabasas. It's just sick how they have to put that in there. It's just sick. Do you remember how they reported that the Kobe crash? At first, everyone reported that 5 people were dead. And they accidentally reported Rick Fox. And then it went from 5 dead to, oh, whoops, it's 9 dead. And if you read my book, you know all about 5 and 9 in black history. Just to go through it with the alphabetic order. Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59, Rasta 59. Black History Month and non-leap years ends on the 59th day of the year. Motown came out in 59. How about Black Mamba 59? Black Mamba died a span of 23 days from Michael Jordan's birthday, the king. Michael Jordan, 59. Again, this number stamped all over Black history. Muhammad Ali didn't really change his own name. It's all part of the ritual. It's how I called the death of Muhammad Ali at age 74 years before it happened. And then he dies on June 3rd, like how the Prophet Muhammad died at age 63. Anyway, notice Black Mamba again, 59. How about Fresh Prince, since they brought up Will Smith? Fresh Prince is 59. How about where he died? Calabasas, 59. It was an accident, 59. That's why they went from 5 dead to 9 dead. And that's why they stick that number. And again, this is how I caught on to Gematria. Just years of looking at headlines and being like, okay, they stuck that number in an article again for no reason. Why didn't they tell me how much everybody else's mansion costs? Why just Drake's $5.9 million mansion? Drake represented Toronto, Ontario, 74. First game of this NBA season in Toronto, Ontario for the 74th season. They mentioned Bryant's glittering 20-year career. Remember, death equals 20. Remember how at the beginning of the year I said this would be a bad year for celebrities because it's 2020 and death's 20, and it really has been. Latest death was another musician in LA, Pop Smoke. Missed my work on that? You better check it out. He died 24 days after Kobe, which is curious. He died on a 41-date numerology and a massive 41 ritual. Again, check out the work. Now to come back to Larry Gaiters, the bishop who I'm responding to. He states in the beginning that the purpose of the Boule is to defend what the Illuminati referred to as the Baphomet system. These are his words. And again, when you take Gematria and apply it to his words of what he's saying, it's backed up. Boule is 80, Bryant's 80, Satan's 80, Bavarian Illuminati's 80. And again, there are 4 base ciphers. Here, I cut off one of the ciphers because there's 3 numbers that really need to be focused on. Baphomet is 80 and 35. Check out Satan. Satan, 80 and 35, right? Marilyn Manson put out the song Say 10. S-A-Y with the number 10. Say 10. You see how Satan is 10? 55 is the 10th triangular number and the 10th Fibonacci number. Meek Mill just did the tweet about learn the Fibonacci code. But anyway, coming back to Baphomet, the numbers that really apply here, if I can type, 80 like Bryant. Remember, the Boule was established on May 15th, which is typically the 135th day of the year. Huge Philadelphia number, established in Philadelphia, but 1904 was a leap year, so it was the 136th day of the year. Now, Bishop Larry Gaiters says the Boule is to defend the Baphomet system. Looks like he might be right on the money. And then Baphomet's also 37. Like Bryant's 37. Like Los Angeles is 37. Remember they had the Kobe Bryant Remembrance game against Portland. Portland 37. Last year, Damian Lillard put away the Thunder in a huge 37 ritual with a 37-point three-pointer that curved through the air. And Damian Lillard's birthday is what? July 15th, 15/7, like 157, the 37th prime. And Damian Lillard was the star of that game. Damian Lillard then went on to tie Kobe Bryant's point-scoring record in X amount of games. All ritual. And all of these guys are probably Boule. Again, a lot of them are born into it. And a lot of NBA players, they cover up who their daddies are because their daddies are actual former NBA players. You know? There's not a lot of people that have the gene that allows you to grow between 6'6" and 7 feet. You know, it's a very small percentage population. But somehow in the NBA, there's all these guys between that height who never met their daddy. Yeah. Okay. So, and again, Kobe Bryant dead on his 157th day of his age, the 37th prime, dead on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. And remember, Bryant's 26 and 37, both dead on the 26th day of the year, 37 years apart. And, man, what is it? It's like the name of the town, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Am I screwing that? Wherever University of Alabama is, I covered this in a video earlier. Yeah, let's do it real quick. I'll pull it up real quick. It's another 157, isn't it? Let me go back and revisit. Let's see. Bear Bryant. Just to see how well mapped out it all is. Okay, Bear Bryant and Kobe Bryant. So Bear Bryant dead in 83. Let's not forget football equals 83 like murder. The song Murder by Numbers, where killing's the sport of the elite, came out in 1983. The lyrics are about killings as simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. So dead 37 years apart. And this is when Nick Saban tied Bear Bryant. But hold on. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 157. That's where University of Alabama is. Isn't it amazing? And again, it just goes to show what I've already been exposing and proving for how many years. That it's all scripted. College, pro, it's all perfectly coordinated. It's like the story's been written, right? The story's been written, and then as each year comes, they find the perfect actors to fulfill the scripts that have been written. Who's got the right birthday? Who's got the right daddy? Etc., etc. Don't forget the way that when Nick Saban tied Bear Bryant, it was a 41-yard pass from number 13 to number 6 to win the 6th championship. 41's the 13th prime, 13's the 6th prime. Told people that was Lock City that year for Alabama getting their 13th win. Alabama's 13. You might recall they were down 13 points at halftime. Then they brought in number 13, Tua. Tua equals 6, by the way. I was like, oh, this is perfect. I said at halftime, I said, don't even sweat, people. Alabama's coming back. This ritual is too in your face. And sure enough, it was. All right, so again, Luciferian system, Lucifer, Satan, related concepts. Philadelphia, the letter's written about the synagogue of Satan. Again, just to read the verse. To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word, and yet you have not denied my name. I will make those who are the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars. I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. And think about this term Jewish-ish, like not really. 74th NBA season. Synagogue of Satan. You know, David Stern died on January 1st at age 77. Judaism 77. Zionist is 77. Jewelry. Who's the guy right now? Adam Silver, another 77. Silver's also 41. Zionist is also 41. Remember, the Boule was established by a greater Masonic order. Masonry is based in Jewish teachings. Most of these black entertainers that are part of Boule, who do they get their paychecks from? People who are Jewish. And again, I'm not blaming all Jewish people, but I'm just saying that these are all facts. Okay. Let's see. So I put up the 4 base ciphers with Boule, Satan, Baphomet, just so you can see a lot of the overlap. I should have put Bryant up there too. Bryant should have been up there, because Bryant's got the 26, the 37, the 80. And again, in light of the bishop saying this is a Luciferian agenda, Lucifer, again, 74, it's the 74th NBA season. Boule was established on a date with 43 numerology. Lucifer's also 43. We see these numbers a lot in death rituals. Lucifer, Masonic killing, they're all 74 and 43. And you know what? I think I might have overlooked something here because it looks like Wikipedia did bad math. Let me just put this up. I just want you to see Lucifer, Masonic, and killing. You see how it's the exact same with the alphabetic order? It's the exact same with the reverse alphabetic order. It's the exact same with the reverse alphabetic order and rules of numerology. Now, the Boule was established in 1904, right? So that means that they turned 115 years old in 2019. They will turn 116 years old later this year. But they are actually 115 years old right now. Established on the 43 date, Kobe died in the 74th season. So Larry because we're responding to Bishop Larry Gaiters. Larry's got that magic 74. I'm not going to accuse Larry of being anything. I just had a kick because I got to see how his... Wow, Larry Gaiters has some good numbers, man. 81 like Kobe beating Bryant. 153 like Holy Bible. Larry's got numbers. The miraculous catch of 153. And again, I'm not going to accuse him of anything. I was just like, why do you have to start by saying you're not going to talk about Gematria? Bishop Larry Gaiters, 96 like Freemason. 111 like Helicopter. Man. 96 like Lakers, 96 like LeBron. Like Satanism. Again, I appreciate Larry Gaiters' presentation. I just don't appreciate that he began it by saying, I'm not going to get into the numbers or talk about Gematria. And again, because the Christians will be like, oh, good, because those things are so satanic and evil. For you Christians, again, you guys have to understand, like, the point of knowledge can be for things like what I'm doing, to try to help wake people up to the fact that we are ruled by the occult. And occult, that word, occult also some 74. Occult doesn't necessarily mean bad, but we are ruled by the bad occult, the satanic occult. Occult just means hidden. They use hidden knowledge that's right in front of our face to fulfill their agenda, which is detrimental to us all. I always hate when I read comments like, what does this have to do with my life? Think about it, genius. You worship a guy like Kobe Bryant. You're investing all this energy in Kobe Bryant's death and these sports games and all this stuff that is deception. Again, the reason these people are so powerful is because we all feed into their Baphomet system, as Larry Gaiters put it. We all feed into their system. We put all of our energy in, we put our wealth in. Again, this is a real stat, you guys. This isn't a made-up stat. There are 50 people in this country who have as much wealth as the next 90%. 90% of a nation of 300 million is 270 million people. How can 50 people possibly have as much wealth as 270 million? Again, it's because a small group of people control the things that dominate our lives. The television, the radio, the record labels, the studios that give us all this entertainment that we're invested in. And this entertainment that mocks every inch of our existence, coated with their symbolism, programming us with nonsense. I mean, I realized how right after 9/11, when I just saw through the very obvious lie, where again the buildings crumbled on the 74th meridian, which wasn't an accident. Huge numerical ritual was 9/11. That's how I figured out this whole thing. But I became aware after that of just how often, if you paid attention, if you're watching a sitcom or even like a sports show, the things the announcer said, just so many jabs at people who care about truth. And always hitting them with the same jab. Conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat, mother's basement. What they're really talking about is the people who question things. The mainstream demonizes people who questions things, the same mainstream that mocks every inch of their existence with their repetitive rituals and their coincidence programming. What a coincidence that LeBron passes Kobe in his hometown of Philly when the Lakers play 1 out of 82 games in Philly. What a coincidence, just days before that Drew Brees passes Peyton Manning, who played for the Colts, on Monday Night Football when the Saints play 1 out of 64 games against the Colts. It's a 4-year cycle. You know, and it just goes on and on and on. Years ago, it was like Dirk Nowitzki beating some Larry Bird record on Larry Bird's birthday. I was just like, come on, man. And again, there's a million other examples too. Seahawks game this year, I'm up here in Seattle. They put up a stat right away when Russell Wilson scores his first rushing touchdown since November 26, 2017. And you just look right away and you see it's 666 days, 666 since his last rushing touchdown. And just before that, they showed you the highlight of the Beast Quake. Beast Quake highlight to, Russell Wilson's first rushing touchdown in 666 days. 666, the number of the Beast. Beast is 47, Seattle on the 47th parallel. It's mockery. It's mockery. Kobe Bryant in his 666th career game Scores his record high. By the way, Larry Gaiters says that Kobe was indoctrinated into the Boule the day that he was accused of raping the woman. And remember, that was a span of 54 days from Kobe's birthday, and the spa where it happened equals 251, the 54th prime. We covered all this at the beginning. But from the Boule establishment to... By the way, they would have been 99 years old that year. That's an Illuminati number, 99. When LeBron passed Kobe, it was his 99th career game. Anyway, from the Boule establishment to Kobe's accused rape was 47 days. 47, like the 47 degrees on the Masonic compass, like how all the media at first reported that Kobe's helicopter crashed at approximately 9:47. Again, in the background, I have the license plate that says, "What is 47?" That 47 campaign. And remember, from the day Kobe died to his upcoming birthday, which is August 23rd, is a span of 211 days. But from the day he died to what they call Kobe Bryant Day, 8/24, that's also 211 days later. And Black Mamba's 211, and 211's the 47th prime. And again, on 211 this year, 2020, you had the death of Joseph Shabalala at age 78, like Kobe's born in 78. He was for the group Ladysmith Black Mambazo, which equals 211, like Black Mamba. Dead on 211. Dead on 211, people. You know? They said he was Nelson Mandela's favorite singer. And he died on the 30-year anniversary of Nelson Mandela being released from prison. Look at the N-word, 4230. Look at slavery, 3042. Tuskegee, 3042. Huxtable, 3042. Martin is 3042. Malcolm X is 3042. For all of you football fans tonight, or not football, what am I talking about? Boxing. You know, there's a big boxing match tonight. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury comes in with 29 wins. He can get his 30th. What's Deontay equal? 30. Deontay Wilder's on 42 wins. 42. 30-42 rituals, Black History Month. Are they going to have the white guy beat the black guy tonight for another 30-42 ritual? Remember, 30 years ago was the 42-1 fight on the 42nd day of the year. Buster Douglas defeated Mike Tyson with 42-1 odds. Now, if you look this up, you'll find this is 100% true. From Mike Tyson's birthday to the fight today is 237 days. That's the prime factorization of 42. The name Tyson's 42. 2 times 3 times 7 is 42. And from Buster Douglas's last birthday to today is Buster Douglas's 322nd day of his age. 322, the number of arguably the most powerful Masonic secret society in existence, Skull and Bones. Again, the Masons got riddles, and they're very repetitive. So you just remember that if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder tonight, it's another 30-42 N-word ritual. I'll just show you guys. Deontay is 30 in the most pure cipher. Deontay, 30. He's on 42 wins right now. Tyson, 42. Tyson Fury's on 29 wins. But anyway, this is how it is. This is how it is when you learn this code. The one thing I'll say about boxing is, like, I'd pay attention to how the money is. There's websites like VegasInsider.com, which will show you an approximate of where all the money is for this. And I imagine it'll be pretty even since it's an even fight. But boxing can have some really strong riddles that don't come through. Plenty do come through. I mean, you definitely can use this knowledge to see how boxing fights are scripted. But sometimes the outcomes will surprise you, and sometimes I think it's just based on how lopsided money can get. So I'd keep an eye on the money, but you just remember, if the white guy beats the black guy tonight, we'll have another 30 and 42 ritual, perfectly synced up with Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas, which was a fight 30 years ago on February 11th, the 42nd day of the year. And again, this man that I'm talking about just died on the 42nd day of the year on the 30-year anniversary of Nelson Mandela being released from prison. And they said he was Nelson Mandela's favorite singer. So he was also born in 41, this guy. Black Mambazo. Born in 41 like Kobe Bryant 41. And some other 41s that we forgot to hit. You know, the pilot of the helicopter. Do I still remember how to spell it? That's it. Arazobayan, 41 and 58, just like Kobe Bryant in the same ciphers. And it was Alicia Keys who remembered Kobe. Oops, I missed an I. Alicia Keys who remembered Kobe at the Grammys the day of his death. There's more I'm forgetting, but we covered enough. I'm even forgetting how to talk. I've been talking so long. So, I did say that at the end of this, I would open up the phone lines for people who want to call in. If you are calling in, talk about this. I hate when people start calling in and talking about all these different things. Again, this video is a presentation on Kobe Bryant and the Boule. So if you don't have anything to call in about that, don't call in and ask me about something else. If you have something to add to this, that's why you call in. Part of the reason I'm not answering phone calls in the middle of the presentation is we'll be like, hey, Zach, I just saw this story. And I'm just like, okay, dude, I'm doing a presentation on this. I don't want to know about some other topic right now. It's not what we're doing. But if anybody wants to call in, 509-731-0567. We're talking about Kobe, Boule, and what's going on, Kayla?
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
I was just wondering if you touched on, I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but the music video of Destiny's Child, Bugaboo, having to do with Kobe Bryant.
I believe it. Tell me about it.
Okay, so when you write out Bugaboo, like Bug-A-Boo equals 126,
okay.
And Kobe Bryant, he was in that music video that Destiny's Child did back in 1999, and the name of the album was called The Writings on the Wall, and the album actually released on July 27th, the day leaving 157 days left in the year.
Say it again. How many days left in the year? Are you still there? Uh-oh. Kayla, are you still there? Hold on. What in the world?
Hello?
Kayla, something happened to the phone when the other person called in. For some reason, it muted you. So, how many days are left in the year on that date?
157.
157 again. Unbelievable.
Yeah, July 27th. And then last thing was, after that album was released, it was also, that song was released as a single album on Kobe Bryant's birthday, August 23rd, 1999.
Oh, okay, hold on. Wait, the album?
Okay, so the album was actually released on July 27th, but then that particular song off that album, Bugaboo, was released on Kobe Bryant's birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, and just the fact that Bugaboo equals 126, you know. But yeah, I wanted to point that out because I know Beyonce made the headline remembering that song and talking about Kobe or something.
Well, you saying this reminds me that Kobe also died on Jay-Z's 54th day of his age. So Jay-Z, Beyonce, I mean, it just makes too much sense. So, and again, this is how this knowledge proves that, like, all these things are done over the years leading up to these big events that, like, Kobe Bryant's death.
This was, 21 years ago was that music video.
He would have been 21 years old. Well, actually, he would have been 20 when that song came out, just shy of his 21st birthday. And then you said that the single came out on his 21st birthday, and Lakers is 21, so...
Wow, yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted you to get that information. Oh, and then for another 74, Destiny's Child equals 74.
Oh, my God. And Beyonce is another 33, so... Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay. I actually saw that that song, Bugaboo, on the top 100 Billboard chart was hit number 33 for a while. I think that's in the Wikipedia information about that song.
It was number what?
33.
God.
On the chart. Yeah. So.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was all I had.
All right, I really appreciate it. Great research as always. And Kayla, you want to plug your YouTube page?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's just Kayla D Code Talker. So I'll be in the chat so someone can see it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Great work, Kayla. You take care.
All right.
Bye. Caller?
Yes, hello?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up?
I just started listening to watching your videos yesterday. And, piqued my interest. It makes sense. I just have a couple questions, so don't mind me if I'm not, educated on all the terms. Okay?
No, you go ahead. I'm glad you found the work, and I'm glad you're calling in to ask questions, so I'm listening.
All right. Now, I just wanna know, are you saying that these celebrities that are dying, quote unquote, are not dying?
Well, that's something that I can't say for certain if they're really dying or not. It's possible they're really dying. It's possible some of them are faking their deaths. And to make a point, the day that Kobe died, if you want to go watch that really long live stream, the one that was like 4 hours long, I'd say probably in the third hour that Jeff Young calls in, and Jeff Young's a longtime friend of the program. Who Jeff Young is he's the former guitarist for the band Megadeth. So he has some insight into the industry, and he maintains that some of these deaths, they really are happening, and some, they're faking the deaths because the death brings a lot of interest in sales and money to the industry and the wealth of these people. So, I mean, he doesn't know for sure, for example, if Kobe really died or not, but he called in and made that point that, yes, some of these deaths really do happen, and then sometimes these people are truly faking their deaths. So.
Okay. Appreciate you answering that question. Now, you had said don't call in unless you're talking about Kobe, and you said another word. What is that word again? The Boule?
Boule, right.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, so I know you haven't been watching since the beginning of the live stream because that was the whole point of this video. So the Boule is a Masonic order for black men that was established in Philadelphia. So if you watch this video from the beginning, you'll see how I'm showing that everything about Kobe and his father is perfectly synced with the establishment date of the Boule, which is May 15th. It just shows that these guys were both born into this.
So how do you know if you're born into it or not? Because I have ancestors who, somebody in my family was the Eastern Star, and somebody else in my family was Mason. I don't really know, but I just know, certain things. So I'm curious, is that the same thing?
Well, I would imagine that you would know if you were brought into it because then they would say, they'd approach you and say, our family has this tradition of being Masons or Prince Hall or Boule or whatever, or Knights Templar or, Knights of Malta, all these different societies. And you know what? I think you would be a great member for our family to continue the tradition. I imagine it's something like that.
So is it possible that they know about me?
Well, so again, that could also be what goes on with some of these people. The bishop that I'm responding to in this video, what he's saying happened is Kobe might not have been aware that he was born to be part of this until the whole rape thing, because he's saying that Kobe was instructed to go to Colorado for his surgery, and he was instructed to seek out this certain doctor, and that doctor was a member of Boule, and then the whole rape ritual was really his indoctrination into this. And then the bishop points out that then that's when Kobe started putting the tattoos on his body, the markings that are part of these societies. So, Kobe, that was 2003. So Kobe would have been almost 25 years old. Kobe was 24 then when the rape happened. Now that I'm thinking about that, 24, just like his jersey number. So just shy of 25.
Okay, I had seen something in the comments, and I'm gonna get off the phone after this one. I had seen something in the comments and another video maybe, but it said that you had made some type of prediction for tomorrow. Something was gonna happen tomorrow.
Well, it's the same prediction that I've made for the last 3 years, and it's just that you will see celebrity deaths connected to that date, because we've been doing it for the last 3 years. We'll always point out the date that has the 44 and 64 numerology. And like clockwork, you'll always see celebrity deaths. Sometimes people that aren't super famous, but there's just always people that end up dead in the headlines. Usually their name sums to 44 or 64. Again, last month, the date that we circled was January 23rd, which was the 44-64 date. One of the deaths that day was the former basketball player Robert Archibald. And they pointed out in the article how he had played in 44 career games. And the reason it matters the 44-64 date is because the word kill equals 44 with the alphabetic order and 64 with the reverse. And you can just go back through history. You can just do the math and go, okay, that was the day with the 44-64 date. And you can just go and just read the deaths that day. So it's just clockwork every month, sadly. And it's just like this month we've already put out, like I told people to watch February 7th. Because that's the 38th day of the year. Death's 38. There were a whole bunch of celebrities that died that day, even a child actor. And he was in perfect health. His death didn't make any sense, was the way it was reported. And after the day said, I said, just watch. Just watch. There'll be headlines that come out for the next week, even more, connecting deaths back to this February 7th date. Sure enough, it happened. Then when the 43rd day of the year was coming around, I said, watch, there'll be a death on that day because the killing's 43. You end up getting the death of a drummer. Drummer's 43. Then I always say, watch out for Lupercalia. That's the 44th day of the year through the 46th day. Lupercalia starts February 13th. Celebrity deaths that day. I think another child actor died that day, if I remember right. 46th day of the year. Sacrifices 46. It's just clockwork what goes on every single year. So for years, I've been reminding about the same patterns, and sadly, it's the same type of stuff that happens every year. Just like I always tell people to watch the day of the award ceremonies, Grammys, Oscars, etc., because there's always a celebrity death. Kobe died before the Grammys this year. It's clockwork what goes on in this world when you know the language that these people work through.
Okay, well, I definitely appreciate it, and I would like to speak to you on a different setting, different time, maybe shoot some emails. But I would just like to say to everybody that's listening that I recently just started a channel called Real Soul TV, and it's basically my vision is to have a collection of people and just start a movement, a mindset where we can focus on something other than what they want us to focus on. So if you want to subscribe, it's Real Soul TV. That's Real Souls and then TVEE.
Is it
on YouTube? I appreciate it, man.
Hold on. Is it souls plural or souls singular?
Souls, like SOULS.
Plural. Okay, got it.
Yeah. TVEE.
TVEE. Got it.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man.
I like your idea. I'll check out your channel. I like your idea because that's essentially what I'm trying to get people to do is to tune out of this mainstream matrix of misinformation and these sports leagues that are based on ritual murder. I mean, people got to wake up to what's going on, and so
wake up and just refocus and just, you know what I mean? Just don't give them power because, like you said, power is given. Like if you're giving all your attention and your power and your money, that's what makes them powerful. Right there.
That's exactly it.
Don't pay no attention.
That's exactly it. My whole goal is to get people to not show up to any of these things. Nobody shows up to the sports games anymore. None of it. We're on to it. We're not showing up. We're not giving any energy, any money. It's over. And
see, that's never gonna happen. My goal is just to get my own, like something to where it's like.
Never say never, man. Never say never. Never say never. It is unlikely, but that's still the goal. Because, again, the absolute's probably not going to happen, but over the years, I've had thousands of people leave the comments. Zach, I'm not watching any more of this stuff. I'm not going to these games. I'm not buying any more merchandise. I'm done. So my goal is just to help.
Those are the people that we need. But I look forward to speaking to you, man. I don't want to hold you up anymore.
All right, you take care, man.
All right, man.
Caller? Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right. I just heard you said that when Kobe got the surgery in Colorado, he had the rape case. That's when he started getting the tattoos. Did you notice he got a crown tattoo on his right shoulder?
Right.
And what do crown corona? What do corona mean? Do that mean king or something?
Crown.
Yeah, crown.
Right.
And another thing, you said he died 24 days after. No, Pop Smoke died 24 days after Kobe, right?
Right.
And Kobe played 20 seasons in the NBA, right?
Right.
And Pop Smoke is 20.
Right. And again, Pop Smoke was referring to himself as the King of New York. King is 41. He died in the big 41 connection, like how Kobe died at 41, and he's got the King's crown. I got to go back and figure out what day Kobe got that tattoo on his arm. I bet you that was a big riddle right there.
But you said that he probably got all those tattoos after the rape case. That's where he got all the tattoos. That's what I heard you say, right?
Well, he got that crown tattoo late in his career, if I remember right. That came late in his career, that big crown on his arm.
Oh, okay. Oh, but one more thing. Remember Lil Wayne came out with that album, Funeral, right?
Funeral, right.
You guess how many tracks was on the album?
24, we covered it. 24, yeah. Whole thing was sick. Lil Wayne's 101.
I want to stay on topic since you talk about the Boule. This is Black History Month. Who's one of the biggest Boule in history in the United States?
Martin Luther King Jr.?
Okay, when Martin Luther King got assassinated in '68, I did not know this till recently. Did you know that his younger brother drowned the next year in '69 at 38?
At 38? I did not know that. There's that death number again.
Did you know that his mother was assassinated in the church June 30th, 1974? Did you know that?
I gotta go. This is some good stuff. I didn't know either of these things. No.
Okay, so his brother drowned at 38 in '69. His mother got assassinated in the church in '74, and the person that they said that killed and assassinated his mother, the first person he wanted to get was go to Chicago and get Jesse Jackson, but he changed his mind, and Jesse Jackson is another Boule too.
And just to remind about Martin Luther King Jr.'s death, again, a lot of people don't even know who Martin Luther is. Not MLK, Martin Luther, who led the Protestant Reformation against the Catholic Church. Martin Luther wrote the 95 Thesis exposing the Catholic Church of corruption. This phone is always so noisy, man. I gotta mute you for a second because you're just so loud. Hold on. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote the 95 Thesis. No. Martin Luther wrote the 95 Thesis exposing the Catholic Church. Remember, that's a part of Kobe's death, too. And then MLK died April 4th, 1968. 68 was the leap year, so April 4th was the 95th day of the year. Plus, it was also a date with 95 numerology. 4 plus 4 plus 19 plus 68 is 95. So MLK, named after Martin Luther, which wasn't his birth name, dies in this 95 ritual when Martin Luther is remembered for the 95 Thesis. Now, the Jesuits were formed to kill Martin Luther and his followers, and they were formed on September 27th, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. And remember, right now we have the first publicly Jesuit pope. He's the 266th pope. Kobe Bryant just died 38 weeks after his wife's birthday, which is 266 days. So the Jesuit Catholic fingerprints are all over it. That's what I mean. These rituals, they include like all the secret societies, Jesuits, Masons, Scottish Rite, Boule. It's like, it's amazing what they've done. It's amazing what they coordinate. All right, let me go back to caller real quick. What's up, man?
I just wanted to make that point about his brother dying at 38. They said that he drowned in his pool, but they said he was a good swimmer. You know that you remember he said his brother drowned in the pool? That reminded me of Rodney King. They said Rodney King drowned in his pool, and they said Rodney King was a good swimmer.
And he was 47 years old, Rodney King. Rodney King was 47, and of course his birthday's 4/2, April 2nd, and Rodney King's 59, like Negro, like slave, like Black Mamba. It's the same stuff. And he was beaten on 3-3, 3-3, like Kobe 33. It's just, they always bring together their same numbers.
One more thing before I get off the phone. I just want to know this: why they do not talk about his younger brother drowning, and they don't talk about his mother getting assassinated in '74.
I want you to call me back. I want you to call me back.
I found this out recently.
Call me back later, just because I have to go do something as soon as I end this live stream. I want you to call me back later and give me all this stuff again. I'm going to do a big presentation on this. This is huge. I didn't realize these things about Martin Luther King, but yeah, this is interesting.
All right, I'll call you later with that.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right,
take care. All right, let me take one more call, and then I want to just show some about the Lil Wayne album and in light of Kobe Bryant. Caller.
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Hey, it's Faith in LA. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Hey, you know we love you down in LA, right? You know we love you.
I'm sure some people hate me there too, but I appreciate it.
Okay, well, just calling in, want to say thank you for all of the diligent work that you're doing on the Kobe Bryant
I think I speak for all the Kobe lovers here in LA that we appreciate it, because personally, I do think it was a hit, and your work helps expose that, with the Gematria. So just want to say thank you.
Well, you are very welcome. I appreciate the support. Thank you.
But I did want to make one other point also. You mentioned that you were a Kobe hater because, you realized that it was all scripted around him and et cetera, et cetera. And I believe it. And even with the Boule and all that, the observation that you made this morning about, all of the rape case and all that kind of stuff, and all happening around, what you were pointing out earlier, what that doctor said,
right,
or whatever. But I just wanted to make the point that, because all the Kobe lovers down here were really, if anybody should have been taken out, it shouldn't have been Kobe. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that, the Kobe lovers are mourning is the fact that all of the work, all the hard work and stuff that he put in, it was phenomenal. He wasn't a normal basketball player. You know what I'm saying? And his athletic ability and the determination and all the time that he spent, getting ready for, whether he realized he was involved in it or not, you can't dispute what he did as a player. And, I think that, if you still have to respect, the dedication that he put in, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So many of these athletes that are part of these scripted sports leagues, they've put in the work. Look at their bodies, look at their skill. They've put in the work to do what they do. So, the talent and the effort is absolutely there. I'd encourage you to check out that, what I'm responding to, the Bishop Larry Gaiters interview on the, what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name right now. But if you just search Kobe Bryant, Bishop Gaiters, he spells his name Gaiters. He gets into the books that Kobe published, and I'm going to look more at that too. I didn't do that in this presentation. We've talked about it briefly in some other live streams, but Kobe did put out some occult books. And so it looks like Kobe was aware of what he was dealing with. And the bishop says that Kobe was definitely a Luciferian, which to me makes perfect sense because these people are about self-worship. Kobe was so self-centered. He's probably one of the most self-centered athletes there ever was. That's part of the reason I didn't like Kobe either. So.
Right. And I get that. I totally get that. And please don't overlook, the fact that your research on this is like, I don't think anybody's doing what you're doing as far as the research on it. So, I personally, as a Kobe fan, I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? But it just, you have to understand, I'm mixed. I'm half black and white and American Indian. But I consider myself black. And, what black people have noticed over the years in America is that, the establishment, which is whatever you want to call it, these satanic, motherfuckers that are running shit. Sorry for my language. But these people that are running things, they don't like black excellence. They don't like black people that, come out and they say, no, this is a higher standard. And, Kobe lived his life that way. Whether he was part of the Boule, whether he knew he was part of it or not, they still took him out. You know what I'm saying? And they take out any black leader, as you have covered. You have well documented this on your channels. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, anybody, but if you look at some of the other, I think it's Dr. Umar Johnson said, also on YouTube, he pointed out that Kobe was trying to establish a international basketball league with China because they literally worship Kobe like a god in China. And that was a threat to the NBA. And then he also touched on what you touched on with the pharmaceutical company. So, they keep taking out these black men that are very successful. They don't like black excellence. They don't like black role models. They don't like it, and they take them out. And so that's why it's offensive that's why it hurts us so badly in LA, because we're like, they took out another black leader. I in my soul of souls, I believe it was a hit. I think they took him out, and your research supports that. So I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just trying to give you, another avenue to look at it as a fan, because I am a huge fan of yours, and I always support you. I always will support you because you come with the facts and you come with the truth. But I just wanted to voice that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to voice that to you just so that you understand why, people did look up to him, because people that were even older than him looked up to him, and these are the reasons why. He represented black excellence, and they took him out for that.
This is true.
They took him out back.
This is true. They very possibly did. And remember, right after his death, Tracy McGrady went on the air, and he told the story of how when Kobe was young, when they were both out of high school early in their career in the league, Kobe said that he wanted to die young so that he could be immortalized as a legend. And maybe even the fact that a young person would say something like that, it might make these occultists who are controlling these people be like, "Oh, you want to die young? Well, guess what?
Right.
Guess what place on the chessboard you're going to fit in our plan that we have laid out here for 2020." I mean, it could be like that. So,
I mean, my personal, I have another theory too, is that yes, he knew that he was what he was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And like you have repeated in many of your videos, is that you have to sacrifice somebody in your family. You have to sacrifice something, or you have to commit a homosexual, whatever. You have to perform a homosexual act. And as you can see, Kobe never sacrificed any of his kids, and he never sacrificed his parents either. So you have to look at, what happened. And this may have been payback. This may have been them saying, okay, if you won't take out one of your family members, we're going to take you and your family member out. You see what I'm saying? We're going to take you and your daughter out, because Gianna was his legacy. You see what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but remember, his dad was an NBA player, and Kobe, I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but we showed how his dad was perfectly born with the synced up with the Boule Society, and then so was Kobe. So his dad, this is on his dad. His dad's still living, but now his dad has possibly lost his son and his granddaughter. So, and it's a massive ritual too, right? So, I mean, this could be making up for all the years that nobody else was getting sacrificed, essentially.
Exactly. And I personally, I think it, like I said, I think it was Umar Johnson on YouTube that pointed that out. And, I think personally that was the case. I think because he didn't commit a homosexual ritual, and he never sacrificed anybody, because that is what's going on. This ritual sacrifice. It's very clear that's what's going on, and that's why if you
listen to this Bishop Larry Gaiters, and again, he says some things that are not correct that I just know from my own research that I can prove him wrong. So I'm not saying that everything he says is correct. But what he does say in there is he says that to be a part of these societies like Kobe Bryant was in, to be initiated, you have to do the homosexual act, and you also have to do a sexual act with an animal. And he says if you take on the persona of an animal, such as a snake or a reptile, then you have to do the sexual ritual with that animal. So I'm trying to I'm like, how could you have a sexual ritual with like a mamba snake? But anyway, these are things he talks about in there, and I don't have expertise in that, so.
Right. And it's it's some sick shit. It's sick. Totally sick. So anyway, just wanted to let you know, Zach, we love you. I will always support you, but I just wanted to, just kind of scoot that out there and help you understand, why people are mourning. I mean, the whole world is mourning. I mean, not everybody, but I mean, he was a global figure, and he was a global figure for a reason. And he represented excellence, and that may be why they worship him in China, because that's how they are too. They believe in excellence, etc. And so
First chapter of my book, I talk about how Kobe's worshipped as a god. Same with Michael Jordan. I mean, it's chapter 1 of my book. Kobe, Jordan, God, they're all 26. Ends up dead on the 26th. I mean, it's the ritual, so.
Right. But anyway, thank you again. And, man, you are doing some good work. So thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. You take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm not going to take any more calls because I have to get off, you guys. I'm sorry. You guys know I'll be back. I do live streams all the time, so you'll get to talk to me in short time. But before I go, I just want to, again, revisit one of the things we've covered, just so people can understand how deep these rituals are. So Lil Wayne, he put out this album January 31st. He did a tribute to Kobe Bryant on the album. He has like 8 seconds of silence on, I forget what it is, the 24th track or something like that, or 24 seconds of silence on the 8th track. It doesn't matter. There's something like that on the album. The album came out January 31st, which is the 32nd prime. Funerals 32. Kobe's jersey numbers 24 plus 8, 32. Again, 24 tracks on there. And Lil Wayne's birthday is the Jesuit Order's birthday, which we were just talking about with Martin Luther King and the Boule. But from Lil Wayne's 37th birthday, remember Bryant's 37, dead on his 157th day of his age, 37th prime, just like how his father was born 157 days after the establishment of the Boule. But look at this. From Lil Wayne's birthday to the release of the album's 126 days. Kobe died on 126. The Boule has 126 chapters. Gianna Bryant 126, the daughter, the child. Right now in Japan, they have the 126th emperor. And why does that matter? Because again, Kobe is supposedly named after Kobe, Japan. And look at what day Kobe was founded, the city. April 1st, 4/1, April Fool's Day. Again, you guys, this is what we're talking about is New World Order. The powerful secret societies conducting just these incredible, amazingly well-planned out rituals. I know so many of us common folks see this and they're like, this is impossible. Only Satan can do all this. I mean, you guys can believe that if you want, but human beings can't coordinate this. Those of you who feel that way, I want you to remember you live in a world with a ruling class that does not work. They do not work. They live off of our labor. They live off of our taxes and our consumption. They do not work. They have all the time in the world. They are a cult. They understand this knowledge. They do everything in their lives by this knowledge. This is firsthand to them. Those of you who come along and say this is impossible for humans to do, you guys are thinking from a very small-minded point of view, from your own point of view where, you know, you're someone like Bryant who can't even calculate between 1941 and 2001 correctly. Makes a big, bold statement. Look at that, 50 years. It's like, no, Brian, that's second grade math. Maybe first grade math, it's 60 years. Anyway, Brian represents the common person in our society who's been purposefully dumbed down chemically and made to be bad at math. And not like reading or logic or thinking or learning or studying. Anyhow. Oh, on this album with Lil Wayne, track 8 is called Bing James, which can't remind you of anything but King James. Has the gematria just like King James, and there's 24 seconds of silence. The Emperor Naruto, who's the 126th Emperor, from his birthday to Kobe's death was 271 days, which is the 58th prime. Again, Kobe Bryant's 58, like Los Angeles Lakers, like Freemasonry, like Rosicrucian, like Solomon's Temple, like Secret Society, like Los Angeles Lakers, like King James, again, passing Kobe in his hometown of Philly the day before his death, like how the real King James died at age 58, like how Zion Williamson, by the time he was done with his game January 26th, had accumulated 58 points in his early NBA scoring career. And again, Kobe fell to 4th in scoring, Tetragrammaton's 58, biblical name of God, the 4-letter name of God, which sums to 26 in Hebrew and in English, like God, like game, like Bear, like Bryant, like Jordan, like Kobe Bryant, dead on the anniversary of Bear Bryant, 37 years later. And look at Lil Wayne, 101 like Philadelphia. Again, we talked about how Kobe was born on the 101st day of the 74th year of the Boule. And his helicopter crashes next to Highway 101 in the 74th NBA season. I mean, the rituals are too perfect. They are too perfect. Lil Wayne's born on the Society of Jesus' birthday, September 27th. And Jesus, Cross, Messiah, Parables, Gospel, all 74. Like Jesus Christ, 74th NBA season. Jesus on the cross at 33, Kobe 33, 33 seconds of silence at the Philadelphia Golden State game where the Warriors were originally from Philly. For years, talked about the rituals done with Philly and Golden State every single year in the NBA. This year, Kobe Bryant from Philly becomes a part of that. 33 seconds of silence at Lower Merion High School for Kobe where he wore 33. You know, here it is right here. Prior to the start of the Philadelphia 76ers game versus Golden State Warriors, Kobe Bryant is honored with a pregame ceremony, including a 33-second moment of silence. People just don't even blink an eye at it. Don't question anything. Same thing at Lower Merion. Again, this has everything to do with God. Jews write God, G-D. G's the 7th letter, D's the 4th. 54, Jesuit Order 54. Again, Lil Wayne, born on the Society of Jesus' birthday, which is the Jesuit Order. You have the first publicly Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. Kobe's dead at 41 on Pope Francis' 41st day of his age. Again, the 266th Pope. Kobe's dead 266 days after his wife's birthday. The Jesuit motto in Latin equals 266. Again, it's undeniable what's going on. And then Damian Lillard also has a rap song called Funeral. Came out before Kobe died, where he raps about Kobe and Gianna. You don't think this stuff's incredibly planned? You don't think somebody tapped Damian Lillard and said, hey, Damian, make a song called Funeral and rap about Kobe and Gianna? And again, Damian with the 15/7 birthday lights up the Lakers in the Kobe Remembrance game after Kobe dies on his 157th day of his age. And now we learn about the Boule part and how his father was born 157 days after the establishment of the Boule. His father born in 1954. Again, if you go to my main channel, which is Gematria Effect News, the channel that gets deleted all the time. This channel would probably literally have 1 million subscribers if it hadn't been deleted 19 times. Again, there's a lot of videos that prove this work through and through that have been erased thanks to Google censorship. It's recently been deleted 2 times just in the last couple months, so we're trying again, channel number 20. This is where I put out the majority of the content. If you go to Gematria Effect News, if you subscribe, if you go down to the Kobe Bryant playlist, there's a lot more information here. So, again, and I'll be doing another video, believe me, on this the thing Kayla called about with the Bugaboo song. It's just incredible what these people have done. They got it all planned and mapped out. So, there's always more. I always say that. There's always more. There's probably 50 more clues out there connecting Kobe and the day he died that we don't even know about yet. Because that's how this industry works. It's like they've taken a puzzle and they've shuffled it all over. I'm going to have this recording industry musician do this piece of the puzzle here. I'm going to have this person do it here, and this year here, and this year there. That's how it is. Been explaining the same things. For people who are new here, I'm super consistent. I've explained the exact same things with the exact same theories and backed it up every single day, no exaggeration, the entire time I've been here, which is since 2013. So, Gematria Effect News, that's the main channel. You're watching Gematria Effect Sports right now. If you do subscribe to this channel, make sure you stay subscribed because you'll probably be unsubscribed. People get unsubscribed all the time. And if you haven't read my book, you really should. You can get it through sells.com. It's only $4.99. Or you can get it at my own site, which is gematriaeffect.news. It's where I've started posting my blog posts this year. The link to get the ebook is where you can get it. Also on this site, the calculator's up here, Gematria calculator. If you want to plug in more ciphers, the 4 base ciphers are right here. You know, to remember your prime numbers, you just click on the number in the count. It'll tell you if it's prime, like 157. Yes, it's prime. It's the 37th. No, it's not a square number. No, it's not a Fibonacci number. No, it's not a triangular number. 113, the 30th prime. 41, the 13th prime. Prime numbers show strength. Notice in 3 of the 4 base ciphers, Kobe Bryant has prime numbers. It's not common for many people. They show strength because they can't be divided. All right, Truth Seeker. We'll leave it there. Really appreciate all the people who do support the book. You know, I've been demonetized by YouTube. They don't want this truth out there. Trying to build up the resources so we can eventually hire people and get this show on the road. Like if we had better resources, we could have been down in LA right after Kobe Bryant died with our signs and our information. We already had half this thing figured out the day it happened. But since then, we've had weeks to discover more and more, like this Boule piece. And we'll continue to discover more and more because, again, these people drop clues and rituals everywhere. If you got here late, I encourage you to check out this video from the beginning. A lot of important concepts covered. And if you're out there, Bishop Larry Gaiters, hit me up, 509-731-0567. Love to have you on to share your knowledge. You're well-spoken. But I want to know why you had to diss Gematria in a way in the beginning of your presentation. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you meant by saying you're not going to cover that. Because I don't get why you wouldn't want to. Alrighty. Hit that like button, people. The more likes, the more likely it is to follow this work to find somebody new. Till next time.